Just gonna get this ready for Jess FM. All right, we're just sharing our video here. All right. I'm gonna just have Austin help me out here. He's so good at this. Oh, looks like we're about to go live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Monday night's episode of You Asked For It. We have a very special episode here for you today. I think we're all shared. You can follow us and watch us on our Facebook and on Jess FM. You should like the page. Remember, we are checking out your comments through the show, so we like to answer your questions if there is some questions or input and give some little shout outs and hellos. We're good?
We're good.
We're up?
Hello.
All right. Happy you asked for it, Austin.
Happy you asked for it. Happy Monday. Cheers.
If you're tuning in and just going to sit down and have a listen, maybe you're cooking dinner, tidying the house, and hearing some chat with your favorite duo here at Jess FM, Levi Cox
and Austin Walsh.
And we're continuing this month. It's been like Halloween month here because Halloween is an ongoing topic for us. We've been having so much fun this October. I'll tell you, this weekend took a little bit out of both of us, I think.
Oh, definitely did. I think like my liver and my brain are still recovering after everything.
I think it's pretty funny because Austin is almost unrecognizable with his signature beard.
It's gone.
So I know if you're listening on radio, you don't see us, but
if you wanted to see us, you can check us out on www.facebook.com/JessFM and check out our live video. You can also check us out on YouTube. Yeah. Just search Jess FM, and we have www.jessfm.ca as well.
What about, how do you get to Jess TV?
That's on jessfm.ca.
All right. So if you are just listening, then you don't know maybe that Austin has this iconic, beautiful beard, and it always
fake
looks
jawline, I call it.
Well, it looks really great on you. And I remember when I met you, I never met anyone who I was attracted to with a beard before. And so I met you and you had this like really sculpted beard and it was so handsome. I remember the first time you did drag and you shaved your beard, you were really scared.
I had an identity crisis, honestly.
He was really scared to show his beardless face. And I'll tell you, I'm a lot more used to it. I think you look adorable.
Every time I do it, I get more and more used to it. But I still don't feel like myself. I was like complaining all day to him, telling them that I look like an alien to my own eyes.
I think you said you looked like a pug.
Yeah.
You go, is my nose getting bigger?
Something's up.
So, yeah, but Austin, shaving your beard for your Halloween costume was well worth it.
Yes, we will talk about what we wear for Halloween later on in the show, so stay tuned.
All right, so tonight we're having a very special, personal episode. We're going to talk about relationships and love and life. Of course, we're going to do a recap of what's been going on in our lives and what's been happening here in Lethbridge. On top of that, we'll be talking about some current events that have been just weighing heavy on all of us. So, yeah.
America, what's up?
What is up, America?
We'll get to that.
Well, and the new face of the opiate crisis.
Yes.
So we got some interesting topics tonight for you. All right, so this weekend was Club Dee Dee's Halloween Panty Raid.
It was like everyone's Halloween parties this Saturday too. So
well, this Saturday was this was the night to go out because Halloween is this Wednesday, and so chances
who wants
are
to go out and get drunk on a Wednesday. Me, but that's besides the point.
I raised my hand, so if you weren't watching. But yeah, we definitely can't go get drunk Wednesday because our clients on Thursday would not be happy with us. Do you agree?
Yes, I think I would probably cut my hands a whole bunch, and they would get really ugly haircuts.
We haven't done an episode just the two of us for a while.
I know, it has been a while. We always are having our guests, eh?
Having guests, and you were out doing some traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, welcome back to us.
Mm-hmm. we wore some red. We're usually in black, but we wore some red.
Well, it's because it's our special love episode. We got red cups too.
Ooh,
really pops against this black background, hey?
Right.
Woo.
I love these fruit waters you make us for the show.
Yes.
Infusions.
Infused water.
Thank you. Okay, so parties all over the city, and being in the hair and makeup industry, working at Catwalk Salon Spa. I'm also the owner of Catwalk Salon Spa, and Catwalk's one of our proud sponsors of You Asked For It on Jess FM.
They definitely are.
So it's a busy time in our salon, getting people glamorous and spooky, and I feel like people are getting more into Halloween.
They are, and like even, I don't know if it's just me or if it was the whole salon or the whole city, but this Saturday it was really, really busy with Halloween hair and makeup all day. Yeah. Everyone's getting ready for their parties, and we turned out some cool stuff.
Well, and even clients who were just in that day to get their hair done, they're like, by the way, I'm going as a rooster. Can you make my hair a rooster? And you're like,
can you turn me into a chicken?
No problem.
Why not?
I've done that before.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So, yeah, it was pretty bizarre, and it's fun because people are mixing glamorous with spooky. There's a lot of, like, gender bending. Halloween is that time where you can just, like, be crazy and express yourself. This one client of Catwalk, she's always so reserved and so, like, I don't know, it's kind of elegant and carries herself with a lot of poise. And then she came in, she goes, I'm not usually into Halloween, but we're going to a party and I want to be Beetlejuice. But she was like the female Beetlejuice, so she wanted to be scary and glamorous. It was really cool.
Yeah, and our friend Trevor Panzak was going to that same party.
Oh yeah.
And he wanted to be Mrs. Doubtfire, so I completely like changed his face with makeup, and he had the whole outfit going, and we did his wig, and the whole time we were bantering, hello, like, can you make me a woman?
We always joke or talk about this thing about like Halloween and first drag, and I want to say Trevor Panzak, who is also a famous country recording artist, we are super proud of your first drag. Way to go.
Just call me mother now, please. I'm your mother.
We haven't shared any photos of Trevor as Mrs. Doubtfire because
nailed it though.
We wanted so people to show off their costumes before we reveal it.
Yeah.
We do the same thing when we're doing hair for grads or weddings. We want to not share that on social media until you've actually got to share it in person and have everyone see you. So we look forward to sharing some of these Halloween transformations on our Catwalk Instagram page. Yeah.
What else did we do? We did a cool Ice Queen, and our friend Toby, it was his first time in drag. We helped him out too.
Yes, Toby. What was Toby's new name?
Sierra Denali.
Sierra Denali. You were looking pretty glam. You looked better than most for their first drag attempt, by the way.
Good job.
Yeah, and you weren't gonna wear heels, but I forced you into it.
Yeah. Oh, he's sending me snaps the next day walking around in our heels too.
Oh, he didn't want to give them up.
Yeah, he was into it.
Do we have some comments online?
Not yet.
No? Okay. If you want to comment, tell us what you did this Halloween or what you dressed up as. We'd love to hear. So, we go to Club Didi. There's parties all over. We were hoping to party hop because we had our friend Ben having a party in Brandon. We had our friend Heather having a party. Hudson's, your client was invited us to Hudson's.
Yeah.
They did a
reverse cover.
Reverse cover charge.
So you show up and they give you $10.
Yeah. So Halloween at Hudson's, you walk to the door, they give you $10 for coming.
Yeah.
A reverse cover. I love that.
That's how you get people to come to your party.
Yeah. I'll pay you. I wish we could have been because I love seeing all the costumes and all the people who think it's like an excuse to dress skanky, and guess what? It is. Yes. It's time to wear whatever you want.
It's like slutty Christmas.
Yeah, you can be like goofy or you can be sexy. I mean, oh my gosh, like Dawn sent me a picture of her as a rooster at that party, and it's so funny because
she showed you.
Oh yeah,
I wanted to see it so bad.
I showed you. It was on my messages.
Haven't seen it.
Well, it's just funny. You see like a party like spooky things, and you see this like woman dressed as a chicken. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, everyone's all like sexy and like all out, and she comes in dressed as a big chicken.
My cousin Greg was doing this Aquaman look, like so from the new movie, and Lacey was being the Little Mermaid to be his date, and it was really cute. But Greg had this brilliant idea for the Aquaman tattoos. He taped out his arm around the tattoos and then put black hair color on his body, left it 45 minutes, and then washed it off.
To see if it would stain.
To see if it would stain, and it didn't stain, so it was a waste. But then they took Jiffy markers and they drew all the Aquaman tattoos on him. I'm sure that's not good for you, so I don't recommend it. But they took Jiffy markers and drew the Aquaman tattoos all over his body. But we were joking that he looked more like a guy who passed out at a frat party, and then they took Jiffy markers and drew the tattoos on him to be Aquaman.
Totally.
You fixed it up, though.
Oh, yeah.
He took his shirt off at our house, and we're like, ooh.
Well, I just gotta say, when you're drawing on a man, upside down triangles are like the most masculine and like flattering to a man's body, and right side up triangles with the point at the top are like more feminizing. So if you're drawing on a man's chest, let's say, maybe don't do a regular triangle because it looks very breasty.
Just if you were drawing triangles on your chest, you now know.
If you're doing
make
a design,
them look like this. Make them look like this.
Any design, do like an upward triangle for those makeup artists out there.
So men this shape.
Yeah.
Women this shape.
Had to fix some things.
Okay, well, look great.
It was very body flattering afterwards.
So Austin and I, coming up to our topic is, it's our 3rd year anniversary on Halloween, so that is Wednesday.
Yes.
So our relationship started in October, and by Halloween we knew we needed to make it Facebook official.
So we did.
But we started off with a very iconic couples Halloween costume. So this is a time when couples can like bond, or friends can bond and do like, hey, we're going as the Spice Girls, we're going as Salt and Pepper, you know, like it's always that time where you can, you know, go with your boyfriend or girlfriend or friends as like duos and like super teams, and you're like, we're the Mean Girls, we're the witches. So our first Halloween costume, Austin was coming to Lethbridge. He was living in Calgary, and
I just phoned in like the day before from a hair show in LA.
Yeah, he was in California, but he was coming, and I knew he was going to be Paul Bunyan. So I was going to surprise him and not tell him I was doing a couple's costume, and I dressed up as Babe the Blue Ox. And so when he showed up, here I am in a body painted to be Babe the Blue Ox, so that it was like solidifying our relationship with a couple's costume. You know, shit's getting real when you're doing like couple's costumes.
It was like high end. It was so cool, and I was like the glitteriest Paul Bunyan ever. And I had like paper machéed my own axe too. Do you remember that? It looked fantastic. I did that the night before.
So in case you don't remember, before I met Austin, my friend said I was so extra. Especially Mwanza, she'd be like, Levi, you were so extra. So I'm always like doing the most, or doing everything like so extra. And Austin's friends,
all my friends, whenever somebody's like real drunk or like being extra, or like, you're doing the most tonight, you're the most.
So Austin was the most, and I was most. I'm the extra. So together we were the most extra.
And we just live our lives like that every day.
Yeah. So we turned out those first Halloween costumes together as Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox, and
a little like Canadian folklore and like North American folklore, actually, but.
So it was funny because that kind of like solidified that relationship status for us.
Oh, that was wicked.
Has anyone ever done that with like a boyfriend or girlfriend, and you show up in like a couple's costume and they're like blown away? Because I thought that was pretty special.
And the year after that, do we want to talk about that now?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, because we want to talk about this year's costumes.
Yeah. So like we always end up doing these couple costumes now, and like we just bring it every time though. It's always we go all out. Hey.
Yeah. It's funny, in Catwalk we sometimes do group costumes, so we're all going to be zombies, we're all going to be witches, we're all going to be vampires. So I've done it like that before, but I've actually never done really couples costumes and consecutively. I'm kind of like, I feel like we're like Seal and Heidi Klum. We're like now like pushing ourselves to do like new cool couple costumes.
But we always do. Freaking bring it! Like I'm so impressed with our costumes every year. Looking back at our like catalog, I'm not embarrassed one bit.
Well, I'm gonna post each of our last costumes leading up to Halloween this Wednesday. So check those out on social media. So our next year, our second year, what were we?
Well, so the first year we were Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox, and the second year we got body painted as our cats. And I made us costumes out of fun fur. So I had like a vest and long 6-foot tails that we attached to our belt and our wrist, and little ears, and it was really, really wicked. So we were Cleopatra and Isis, our little salon cats.
Yeah.
And then
I loved our cat costumes.
They were fun.
Yeah.
I went to the casino and I was like feeling so naked. It was bizarre. Just going out in shorts and like a vest. It was really weird for me because I'm always like button all the way up to the top and like long sleeves, and I don't even wear shorts in the summer usually.
I didn't mind. I hate clothes.
You're a very adventurous man.
We're doing a revealing episode tonight.
You're a show off.
So after that, the next year's costume,
we were
I love
Sweeney
these.
Todd and Mrs. Lovett, who are like, but the Tim Burton version.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd and Mrs. Lovett. That was a really big hit.
Yeah,
that one's the most internet popular.
it was very cool. Well, everyone loves a picture of a drag queen too.
Yeah,
and you look so much like Johnny Depp too, and you're like that, and everyone's like, you look like Edward Scissorhands. And we're like, close, but no cigar.
So we really knew, like, here's the story behind this year's Halloween costume. So this year, Austin and I dressed up as, you went as...
I went as Boy George.
And I went as the purple one, Prince. So you were going, like, way back. You were doing Culture Club, Boy George.
Yeah, color by numbers.
Can you give us a little, like, sound bite? Come, chameleon.
Come and go, you come and go.
Love it, movie easy. Come on. Everyone loves it because Facebook shut down our audio. We did a little lip sync in our costumes because we were feeling our characters so much.
They always take our audio away every time. Facebook, Instagram, everyone. Like, no matter where we are, they have those like soundbite machines that pick up audio, and Sony Music and like
it was Warner
this time. Like, they just hate it.
So,
which to me sounds like counterproductive. I'm just gonna go on like a rant right now.
Yes, dear.
I think like we're not making money off of these songs, and like when you want people to hear these songs on the internet as much as possible, you'd think like all these big production companies or like music studios would want their music out there as much as possible. If we're like hashtagging the artists and stuff, I don't know why they block it.
I'm pretty sure that Boy George and Prince would like us doing their music and honoring them, and it reminds people what great catalogs they have, and then people would want to download it or get the album. So because sometimes you only know the hit single, and then you download the album and discover you have like other favorite tracks. So we think of it as promoting the artists. So when we do drag performances and they shut off the audio, it's really frustrating. Sometimes they just take the whole video down. So we lip sync.
Or they put it up and demonetize it and like take the sound off of it.
Yeah. So we did these videos. You did Karma Chameleon and I did When Doves Cry, and we put them up on our social media, but there's no audio because they are blocked. It's just ugh.
But you can just hear it coming out of our mouths because we look so much like them.
So why, Austin, did we choose these two characters?
Well, no matter where we go in the world.
Literally in the world.
No matter where. And like even here in Lethbridge, at least once a week, I personally get told I look like Boy George. And every time I wear this like wide brim like felt hat, every time, you look like a modern Boy George. You look so much like Boy George. And like we were in London when Prince died, and people were swarming to Levi like, "I love you, Prince. Rest in peace, Prince." Everyone was saying that to you. It was like kind of creepy. We even had like drunk people following us in the train, like just to tell you that they love you.
It was very strange, actually very surreal. I was like, it was we were in Camden Market in London the day Prince died, and
you also got Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
it's funny.
But people followed me around in London, and like they were like literally pouring their heart out. They were so sad about Prince dying, and they were coming right after me. It was really weird.
Yeah,
that girl followed us onto the tube.
I will say, like, for me with Boy George, I was always like, I don't know, I never found him to be like that attractive of a guy.
Boy
like,
George, I think you're very attractive.
There was something weird about it to me, like I just didn't see the similarity. But then like researching him and looking at his music videos and stuff, I totally see my style is like a lot like him, and like maybe we don't look like brothers, but we definitely look like we're really good friends who have the same style. You know what I mean?
I think you look like his son.
Maybe. Could be. But now I just take it as the biggest compliment because he was a really cool guy and an icon.
He still is an icon. He makes great music. He's done some plays.
And he's still putting out music.
Yeah, he's still putting out new songs. He's on that like Canadian Voice type show.
Yeah.
So I just think it's really great because now every time someone comes up to us and says, "You look like Prince" and "You look like Boy George,"
now I'll have a photo
picture. We're like, "There you go."
That.
Yeah. Like even at Hudson's like a week ago, this guy is like, "I'm from Wardner and I want to tell you, you look like Boy George."
I was like, "Thank you."
But even last week, like you got called that.
Oh, I get it all the time, honestly.
Yeah.
Once a week.
So I seem to get told that I look like Prince. I get told I look like Michael Jackson.
And Chris Angel.
Chris Angel.
In Excess, what's his name?
David Hutchinson. Also from
Nikki
Excess.
Sixx.
Nikki Sixx from Poison.
No, he's from
Guns N' Roses.
Wasn't he from INXS?
No, and David Hutchinson.
Okay.
David Hutchinson.
Anyway,
but
then you just look like a cool rock star. And now you're getting like Sweeney Todd a lot, and you're getting
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this new one.
He's got one of those faces.
But
famous.
But I also get told I look like that magician David Copperfield. So that's another one that I get for the.
Or Sandra Bullock.
Oh,
that one. Fuck you.
Apparently, I look like Sandra Bullock too. So anyway, I guess I just take it as I always have taken it as a compliment. If someone's gonna say I look like Michael Jackson, I mean, I was doing this speech at the YWCA, the Wise Guys program, and this guy said, "You should really dress as Edward Scissorhand for Halloween because I thought you were the real Edward Scissorhand," and I thought that's so cute, but I thought that's not a real person. That's Johnny Depp playing a character. So
yeah.
I think we could definitely do Corpse Bride.
That'd be super fun.
You could be Corpse Bride and I could be the Johnny Depp claymation character.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good.
Be fun.
I'd like to be Edward Scissorhands. You could be Winona Ryder.
I could do that too.
Yeah.
Or I could be like the housewife.
Who?
I don't know. Anyway.
Well, we got to think about what we're going to do next year to top our epic Boy George entrance costumes. Thank you.
Think like a year ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for the comments and like all the views and likes and comments on our Halloween costumes. This one's really special to us, and we were really excited to do that for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, Austin, you don't get facial hair for a few more days because we're going to redo Prince and Boy George at work on Wednesday.
We are. It's going to be fun.
So if you're coming to get catwalk to get your hair or makeup or nails or waxing or pedicure done or threading or tattoo, then come check us out in Halloween costume this Wednesday. Come say hi. We have tons of candy to give away.
Yes, we do. We went to Walmart and like every dollar store in the city today. We
oh my gosh.
it up.
We have so much candy. Austin's like, I think you've got enough.
He's like, never. But I'm just worried because like if nobody eats it, then I'm going to eat it myself. And I don't need any more candy this year.
I'll tell you, after the party at Club Didi this weekend, we were hung over.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it usually doesn't hit us like this, but woo! It was bad.
I was hung over till like 7 p.m. the next day. Like yesterday, we went out for dinner and I was like, I am so done with life right now.
So we had the keg for dinner. We went for a nice dinner because we didn't feel like cooking and we just needed to sober up and fill our bellies with yummy food.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went and bought a whole bag of Oreos and cheesies.
Ate the whole thing and watched the movie.
We watched Nightmare Before Christmas.
We did.
That was fantastic.
So good.
He's not letting me watch any more scary ones.
Ugh. I'm just done.
So we're going to talk a little bit more about Halloween. So going out Saturday night, it's like the weirdest thing when you go out on Halloween and people are saying hi to you and they're excited to see you and they're like talking to you, but you don't know who they are.
Or they don't know who you are too, because so many of like these people were like, Levi, where's Austin tonight?
I'm like,
he's right there. He's Boy George. They're like, whoa!
Even the radio. The owner of the radio station, Jesse from Jess FM here, he didn't recognize Austin in the pictures on the internet. He's like, he didn't know that was that guy. He's like, who's that guy?
My beard comes off
it's
and he knows who I am.
We also give you those braided, hair
like rag
dreadlocks.
braids.
Rag braids?
I don't know what they're called. It
They
sounds
look
like
cool.
that to me.
Boy George, rag braids.
Super cute.
So yeah, there was some people I saw Saturday night, and I acted like I knew who you were, but I didn't know who you were.
Some people.
That nun. I feel like I know who that nun is, but
I thought that was Nolan's boyfriend. That was not Nolan's boyfriend.
No.
Because after I'm like, oh, you're here.
Yeah.
Who the hell's that?
I know, and then I thought he was the drag queen from the casino with a nice butt.
Oh, yeah.
But then he was
there too.
He was at the party too.
All right, who the heck are you, nunny?
So we don't know who the scary, sexy nun was
Yeah.
from Club Didi, but we thought we knew who you were.
Yeah, and our friend Avery was hanging out with Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, finally figured out who it was after.
Who was Spider-Man?
There was somebody in like a Spider-Man suit.
Oh, okay. But you know who it was?
After I figured it out.
Oh, I didn't know who it was.
Yeah. Anyway,
really great costumes.
Yeah, I'm like, you just can't recognize some people sometimes. You gotta ask.
I love that Austin did an impromptu performance of Karma Chameleon.
I'm like, hey, do you have Karma Chameleon? And the DJ was like, yeah.
Yeah, so you got to do a little lip sync number.
Yeah.
At Boy Drag.
Yeah.
Not Boy George, Boy Drag.
Well, and basically just drag, honestly.
Austin was really stoked because he got to basically be in drag, but not in a corset and not in high heels.
Loose clothes. It was so nice.
Yeah, that's the nice thing is...
Yeah, I wasn't hot. I had like a nice flowy shirt and a big jacket.
I gotta admit, I did put a corset on because Prince was a tiny guy.
Yeah.
I'm not quite as petite as I once was, so I was like squeezing in a little. Yeah, but I still, I was in man heels, not high heels. But Prince did wear high heels.
He did, but he was also very short.
Yes. So I think it's funny when people think that I look like Prince because he's like 5'1",
Yeah,
and I'm 6'2".
Like 6'2".
So, do we have any comments?
None so far.
No comments. All right, let's keep going with our topics. Different question. I think we're good. We covered all our Halloween topics.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we are now going to talk about relationships. We actually don't know what we're going to talk about in this section. We're going to talk to each other. And Austin mentioned something today to me about marriage, and I said, save it for the show.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to rehearse anything. We just wanted to have some real dialogue here. So we're not really sure how this is going to go, but
we'll see.
We'll see.
You never know.
So it's going to be our 3rd-year anniversary on Wednesday.
Time flies, though, doesn't it? Honestly, like, I feel like we do so much in a day, let alone a year. So our 1 year just seems like 10 years. I feel like we've been together forever. But I also feel like I just met you sometimes. Like, who are you?
Yeah, we're kind of wearing a lot of different hats in a week, and we trying to fit in all the relationship stuff with that is hard.
Yeah,
sometimes.
we are literally together 24/7, which is not common for a lot of couples. So that's like very challenging sometimes, but it's also very rewarding.
Yeah, but I think it's
I don't
funny.
think any couple does as much together as we do.
Yeah, but then like I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go like in the toy room and I'm gonna like organize He-Mans and She-Ras, and you're like, I never see you. And I'm like,
I don't think I say that. I'm like, go have fun. I'm gonna watch not horrible B-grade movies for 5 minutes.
No, you're always like, no, I just want to like spend time with you.
It's only if you're being mean to me. Then I'm like, come back and talk. Please.
If I'm being mean to you, then you want to spend time with me?
No, I want to talk it out. I'm a Gemini. I'm all about communicating.
Oh my gosh.
Talk to me until it's dead.
Oh my gosh.
I over talk about everything.
Do you?
I think so.
Oh, well. So 3 years together. So Austin and I met, and it's a lot of pressure now that our anniversary seems to be on Halloween. Because that's always like a dress-up day. It's a special day. If you want to be romantic, it's like you got to go out like on Halloween night.
We celebrate so much, like all the time. We have so many things that we celebrate together, and our actual anniversary is not even like, well, like it's important, but you know what I mean? It's just another thing for us to celebrate, be awesome about.
Yeah. I'm not someone who's like so big on like Christmas Day or this anniversary.
Yeah.
You know, I just like don't think of it as like such a big deal as long as you're like spending time with your loved ones and friends throughout their year. So maybe you didn't get to go out for birthday dinner with your friend, but you know, hopefully you had a nice few moments with them other dates of the year. Or I know with like families that they put a lot of pressure on these holidays. Like,
yeah, like everyone's together right on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
but like maybe everyone gets together like the first week in January or like second weekend of January when things kind of calm down or whatever. As long as like it's just the spirit of everything and just being with your loved ones.
Yeah, like I'm not like, oh my gosh, now it's like it's got to be about this day. Like, do something special for me on Halloween.
Except my birthday, like that's my freaking day. Give me presents too.
Oh my gosh, Austin loves presents.
I just love things. I love thoughtfulness. You don't have to buy me things. You just have to like.
I gave him a thoughtful gift this year, and he was like, "Oh, it's all you got me."
That's not true. That's
it
not
was
true.
true. It was true. I know you were like not excited. You were like, "Oh yeah, I got pictures."
All right, I'll take that.
Right?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so have any of you ever worked with your boyfriend?
Or a loved one.
No, we're talking relationships.
Yeah, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Oh, okay, your partner,
spouse.
Okay, so yeah, loved one. Okay, so Austin, have you ever worked with a boyfriend before?
I never had.
Yes, you did.
When? Tell me.
That guy at your salon. You dated at your salon.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I never did. I dated him before.
Oh.
We worked together.
Okay.
Yeah.
The guy from Medicine Hat?
Yeah, I was not dating him when we were working together.
Oh, what about the blonde guy?
Not working together.
Well, he dated 2 guys he ended up working with, so that's odd.
Yeah, well, you know, flings. Can be mature, have relationships outside of work, and in work it's different.
Well, we work together every day and are in love, so that's interesting.
In love.
I did work with my ex-husband, so I have done this before, but it's different this time around. And it is interesting, but I mean, mostly in the salon, we're so busy on customer service that that we're not always in each other's faces. I think that's what works about it. Is we're so
it's like we're both like client oriented. We're both with our clients all day. Maybe we see each other at the mixing cupboard, or maybe you ask me to shampoo your clients for you, or whatever.
You ask me to blow dry your client
Yeah,
for
why
you,
not?
tone your client. But we do it with love.
Yeah.
But actually, yeah, working together and dating actually hasn't been too hard for us.
No. Like, I don't know, if we're like fighting at home, sometimes it can like come into the workplace a little bit. Well, we don't let it show, but I'm a little more quiet than usual or whatever. I think that's the only time it affects us.
Not me. I'm just like, hey, what up? Morning. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do with your hair today?
Yeah, turn on the charm and
it's real charm.
Oh, it is, of course.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, so how have things been for you, like moving to Lethbridge and like new friends and like there's a lot of changes for you with that. So
it was a lot of change, and I did actually find it very challenging at first. It was like an identity crisis. My whole life had like been given up to come here and like, I don't know, I almost felt like I risked it all for this love, and it was very rewarding, and it worked, obviously. Like, I'm so happy here, and I've met so many beautiful, amazing people, and I love Lethbridge.
yeah.
I love all of our friends and our community and our family, and these are all things that I never really like had before living in a city that had a lot more anonymity.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like, I don't know, it's weird. I really was mourning the loss of my clientele.
Right. That's hard.
Because they were like my friends.
Yeah,
After 10 years of doing so many clients, I felt like that was probably the hardest part. And like some of my work family there too.
Because once you don't work with people,
for a long time.
Yeah, once you don't work with people, it's not intentional, but you just don't see them every day, so the bond is kind of not there anymore. That those friendships sometimes fade to the past or to the side.
And you'll always be friends, but
Yeah.
it changes. It is changed.
Like, I love seeing like past hairdressers I've worked with at other salons and stuff, and we always have a good time. Like Thora Shade or David Northpagan or Doug Hensey. Like, I love seeing, or Heather or Taitula. Like, when I see like old colleagues, I get really excited and I'm happy, but you just don't see each other daily, so the bond isn't there, you know. And so I know a lot of your friends were at work, and so you don't get to see them anymore.
So that was like definitely hard, but I found like a new work family, and everyone was so supportive of me coming and stuff, which like I was a little apprehensive, like starting at a new salon where like my boyfriend's the boss, and everyone, I was just worried everyone was gonna think I was gonna have some special privileges or whatever, and obviously I do, because fucking the boss. But like, I work very hard, and I'm very invested in Catwalk too, so that's different. There was a lot of like, I was like apprehensive to fully open up or fully be like vulnerable and commit to this life, because I had so much fear that I had to really get rid of and let go of, just like if anything didn't work out, because it was such a risky life choice that I would like lose my home and my job all at once and be in a city that I didn't know anyone.
That's scary.
And that was terrifying, and I think it maybe caused us a little bit of like fighting at the beginning, because I was so apprehensive, and it really did take me a while to let go of that.
I remember when you moved here, Austin said to me, "What do you think about me opening up my own hair salon?"
I was just like not even making sense, because I was so scared of
I'm like,
not having any roots. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so Austin was like, move to Lethbridge. He's working at Catwalk. we're obviously dating and living together, and he's like, I'm thinking of opening my own hair salon. I'm like,
I just wanted some sort of security in the future, because at that moment I was like, I have zero security in this future, and like if it doesn't work out tomorrow, you could be like, you're fired and you have to move out, get out of here. Which you would never ever do, but that's a real fear. It really is.
Is there any like liabilities for like dating your boss or like relationships? Like, is there any
I don't think so.
Like could workman's comp do something extra about that? Like, I never thought about it. Like, but yeah, we're like in a relationship, and like, could it be like a violation of something?
I don't know.
It's like,
but either way, I would have been fucked. It was a real fear, and I've long since let go of that fear, but it was hard.
But also you did have your own dreams of owning maybe your own salon. So
yeah, I really wanted to do that with my life eventually.
Yeah. So it wasn't like you were being
done it in a different way.
Yeah, I was like,
I fast tracked.
I was just like, oh, okay, so you want to open your own salon down the street and be competition with Catwalk? I'm like, what is happening?
No. That was probably a really weird thing for you to hear, and I don't think you really understood where that was all coming from, but now you do, and we're supportive and helping me.
I was supportive.
Freaking out.
I was like,
changed
okay.
my whole life.
Oh, but it was just like, I was like, what's happening? You're gonna open your own shop?
But like for you, like you just had this guy coming to live in your life, and that was the big change. But you still had like all the same staff, all your family, your own home, your own salon. Like you had all of these things, and the only really big change was having a new guy in your life. But for me, everything had changed. So I just felt like the risk was a lot more for me, and it was terrifying.
But as we all know in relationships, and we're going to talk about like relationships and making that commitment and how, when to say goodbye, when to say hello, and when to move in. Like these are hard things, because we all know that like falling in love is pretty easy. I mean, I've fallen in love in a weekend before.
Staying in love is hard.
Staying in love
and that's what takes work, and that's like what a successful relationship is
True.
People who work hard at staying in love.
True, but I was gonna say, but also like breaking up is really hard to do. So when you make that commitment, when you've already been in a relationship or married before, you are really nervous to move in with someone or share your space, or because moving in and all the exciting things in dating a new lover is really exciting, but it's like the breaking up is so torturous to your heart and soul that that's a lot of fear. Like, okay, we're gonna make this next step, and if it doesn't work out, I mean, do you want to have your heart shredded and your like self-esteem smashed again? It's hard, and like so there's just different levels of stress that go into moving in together and starting a relationship. A lot of it's not just gay. This is for everybody, but a lot of gay males have contacted me over the years and of us and just asked like, how do you do it, and how do you make it work, and how do you stay in love, and how do you and I think it's like you really have to let your own ego go and let your own insecurities go, because so many people are so scared they're going to get dumped, they rush out and dump first. What is that? So
fear.
It's fear, but it's like
people are very fear driven, and it's very hard to be vulnerable and just let yourself be loved.
Yeah,
we're in a society now where like everything's so instant, and like anxiety is real, especially like my generation and younger. Like anxiety is a real force to be reckoned with, because the whole world and all of the the bad things that come with it are in your fingertips 24/7.
Well, I feel like people are too quick to jump ship.
I would definitely agree.
I see so many times where I'm like, I'll see someone having like a nice relationship, and then they'll make up a really weird excuse of why they should break up. Like, oh well, I don't like his teeth, or
he's short, I can't marry him.
He's short, I can't marry him. I'm like, what? And they'll like all of a sudden break up when they were in love, and I'm just like, so they're finding things that are not real issues. I mean,
physicality and not like mentality.
Yeah, like if they're like abusive and controlling, I mean, run for the hills.
Yeah,
but I mean,
that's hard too to get out of.
True, because it kind of beats on your self-esteem there, right?
You get trapped.
So
like emotionally trapped.
I think I think you just gotta let go of your ego to be in love. But then all of a sudden you're like 3 years in, and you've let go of so much. You're just
like your appearance.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's not always cute, dating and sharing an ensuite bathroom and cleaning a house, and it gets pretty scary.
Oh, my advice, by the way, for a successful relationship is go on lots of dates and have a house cleaner.
Yeah, we've actually gone over a year without a house cleaner now.
It's hard.
Because when you get home and you gotta you just worked like a 10-hour day, you gotta now clean, do your groceries. It's like you
cook, and just dishes seems like the end of the world sometimes.
Change the cat litter, do some laundry, return some emails.
Adult life.
Oh my gosh. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't know if I have energy for sex. I'm kind of tired.
Mm-hmm. So if you come home and your house is already clean, maybe you can have sex more.
So guess what we're getting tomorrow?
A house cleaner.
A house cleaner. We've got a new house cleaner tomorrow. So what does that mean?
Sex.
Lots of sex.
Oh my god.
Well,
TMI maybe?
Well,
or just an FI?
I told you it was a relationship episode. So
that's very good advice, though. I think your client told you that.
My client told me that if you want to have more sex, then get a house cleaner. So if you can afford even every couple weeks to have someone in there,
just to do general tidying, I don't know, it really does make a big difference in your life.
We're living in just over 7,000 square feet, so it's a lot to maintain.
Yeah, and sometimes I just feel like the walls are crumbling in on me because there's so much responsibility to business and stuff too.
So we're going to see what happens when we introduce that new house cleaner tomorrow.
Yay.
9 a.m.
I'll be a nicer person too, I promise.
Oh my god. I am so excited for house cleaners. So between that and those Go Fresh meals, we are living
Hello Fresh.
Hello Fresh.
Yeah.
So we're doing Hello Fresh meals, and that's very romantic.
Yes, and we actually were going to talk about that last week, and we didn't get a chance
to. We ran out of time. So we want to tell you about Hello Fresh. They are not a sponsor, but Hello Fresh. I would love for you to be a sponsor. We love your product. Mm-hmm. So Hello Fresh, they send us every week. Every week we've done 4 meals, but this week we're just doing 3 because 4 is a lot of food.
We can gift out a meal to a contest winner sometime, maybe.
Ooh, I would love to give out some meals. I would love to give you some free food. So, but
definitely look up what Hello Fresh is, though, because it is a very cool program.
They deliver the meat, the veggies, the white wine vinegar.
They cut up the onions for you.
It's all ready to go. But then you have to cook it together. And
yes.
We've had so much fun doing that.
We have, yeah. And our kitchen's been a lot tidier since, because we have to wash the pots to reuse them.
But also we're
such messy boys. I just want to say that.
We look classy on the outside.
Yeah.
We also are doing it's more portion controlled.
Yeah.
So you don't feel disgusting because you didn't eat so much food. So again, better for canoodling.
Yeah.
Because you're not oh my gosh, I'm gonna die.
I just ate so much pasta.
Too much bok choy. So now it's HelloFresh is getting our eating on track, and we're eating fresh foods, and now we have a house cleaner. So starting tomorrow.
Hallelujah.
Okay. So what about let's talk about fights. Fighting. Relationships.
I think there's a healthy way to fight.
Yeah. It's
and there's a healthy way to move past it.
Basically, you just start punching and kicking and say, if you get in my way, it's not my fault.
All right, Lisa Simpson, calm down. I think fights are kind of important because it's important to be able to communicate and be heard, and have your partner communicate and be heard as well. And you might not always agree on everything, but fights are important because it's how you communicate through it that's makes your relationship more important. How you fight will determine how your relationship will turn out.
Totally. And then holding resentments are not really healthy, so you have to learn how to let that stuff go.
Yeah.
I remember one of my friends said, "Oh, we really like Austin, but until you have your first fight and get through it, then we'll know if it works or if it's real."
And we're both strong leader type males, and it's we butt heads a lot, but we also agree on so much, and we just believe in each other's vision so much too.
Yeah, Austin really gets his head around an idea. He wanted in our salon we have color cupboards that hide the color, and he just really didn't want covered doors on there. But I am not doing that, and it's hard for you to let that go.
Yeah, but it's his salon, and I'm just I won't talk about it anymore because it's your business.
But it's funny because I love watching certain movies, so I like watching horror movies, and scary and adventure things, and he always wants like Disney and rom-coms. And so it's like I always try to like give him one. I said, I want to watch something scary tonight and eat candy, and he's like, we watched so many scary movies.
Well, like, 4 nights in a row, I'm like, enough.
No, last night we watched Disney and Kardashians. It was
sure
horrible.
did.
That was scary.
You didn't watch Kardashians.
He watches Kardashians, and that's a scary show. That is horrifying.
I think the news is horrifying.
Oh my gosh, I can't deal with those. Bon Jovi, I'm with you. I cannot deal with those talentless hacks. I'm sorry, girls. I'm sorry. I don't know why we put fame. I guess fame's not important. No one's looking up to them. Not for like any real qualities. Like, I don't know. They're famous. How's that?
Sure.
We're gonna do agree or disagree. So yeah. See, isn't that funny? I make you watch a horror movie like Suspiria, and then you make me watch a horror movie like the Kardashians Christmas special.
You're like in the sauna to watch the Kardashians, so they don't want to hear you bash them for an hour.
Why don't I mean, they have great hairdressers and makeup artists. I like that.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so fights. Yeah, you gotta sometimes fight, but not carry it on for days.
Yeah, just talk about it, get over it. But like also sometimes it's important to just like walk away. From it, and then come back and talk about it calmly, and like shut your mouth and let your partner talk, and listen to what their point of view is, and then when they're finished, then you talk, and then like talk it out that way. Just like stop interrupting. Like that's a very important way to communicate, and it makes your fights a lot more effective and powerful in a way.
We're both extremely passionate, and so if you like get into a fight, if you get in a fight with your partner and you're both like yell at each other and pick at each other's buttons, well, you did this and you do this and you're like this and you're like this, it just gets so big. It's literally better to have like a timeout, walk away, and then reflect on your role in that. And it's okay to say sorry and eat crow, because we are not perfect and we are wrong sometimes. So
sometimes you gotta have a couple fights to figure out how your partner fights and be able to like maneuver your way around some energy that's kind of misdirected to, or real energy that you need to talk about. But
sometimes you just gotta realize,
if they're gonna name call you, just like walk away for a bit, come back and like talk about it. Or some people like to write things down and then like have them don't walk away.
I don't like that technique.
Well, neither do I, but I think sometimes for me personally, I say really big, bold statements in the moment that I actually don't mean, and not like I hate you or anything. It's like, you always do this, when like you don't actually always do that. You're doing it to me right now, and then I don't like it, so I say something crazy.
Well, you gotta know when, say your partner is having problems with like another friend or family member, and it's not time to like, oh well, you do always do that. Like, don't stick them while they're down. I think it's important and also like sometimes you're just tired and it's not the right time or place to get into a fight. I'm good at saying that. I'm like, it's like 11 o'clock and I don't need to get rowdy this late. Like
sometimes you like poke and then run away by saying that.
No.
Yeah, like you say something really shitty and then say, I'm too tired to talk about
Can you imagine me saying something shitty, Lethbridge?
You always like say what you mean and mean what you say.
Well, it just means sometimes you just gotta like say, you know what, it's a little bit loud for 11 o'clock and I need to go to bed.
Like, I don't think I'm a very riled up person. I'm pretty even keel usually, but it takes a lot to get me angry. And when I am angry, I'm really angry.
Yeah, he's like the Incredible
Hulk. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sure.
Okay, so well, the one thing that we always know is we look good as a couple.
Yes, that's true.
Because that was like our little joke. It was love at first selfie.
Yeah.
For some reason, we just look good as a couple. So, I mean, that was one part of it. But if there's not some substance behind it, it's not going to last, right? So, I think we're just both the same kind of crazy is what we've always said. We're so extra. We're outgoing. We love a good time. We love to get dressed. You're the first time I've been in a relationship where it's not hurry up and get ready, hurry up and get ready. It's like we like getting ready. We like getting ready together. We like matching our outfits. We like doing that, and it's kind of funny because we have that in common.
Getting ready together is like part of the fun of going out.
Yeah, so we actually don't have those fights where it's like,
hurry up now.
Hurry up, get dressed.
Like, we're late anyway, so might as well look good.
Yeah, so that's one thing that really works for us.
Yeah.
How do we keep romance going?
We travel lots.
You got to travel.
That's something we're both like. So, like, that's important to both of us, and that's something that we do a lot. Because we're working 24/7 all the time at, like, the shop, and just even this on a Monday, or we have, like, so much other things to do or whatever. So, like, when we travel, we unplug.
We make sure we make time for each other, and like we go for dinner, just the two of us, at least once a week.
Usually Fridays, because we work until 9. So
Yeah.
we go somewhere that the kitchen's open late, and we just chill out.
Yep, have dinner together, and that's important. And I really liked when we used to work out together.
Mm-hmm.
That was,
Yeah, we always went for runs in the coulee, and it's
Yeah.
been a while.
Yeah,
As you can tell by looking at me.
It's been a couple of years. Oh my gosh! So we used to always go running in the Sugar Bowl, and I always really enjoyed that time together.
It's fun until I seen the snake that one time.
Oh my gosh, that was
Scared
hilarious.
the shit out of me.
I'd never seen him run so fast.
I screamed like a little girl too.
Oh well, let's not make fun of little girls.
Well, I mean,
I'm sure there's a lot
because
gonna
if
happen.
I'm to scream that way, that was weird coming out of me.
They could be a lot braver.
You know, like Ned Flanders in The Simpsons, when you hear that blood-curdling woman scream,
Yeah.
and then it ends up being Ned.
Oh,
that
my
was
God.
me seeing this garter snake. I swear to God.
Yeah, we're more like walkers/joggers, but that time you
I ran. You were way behind me, and you're like laughing. I turned around, and I'm like, oh my God, where'd he go?
I was like, I was like way back there with the snake.
I ran fast.
Oh my gosh! So
Snakes.
I grabbed the snake. We turned it into a beautiful belt.
He's a liar.
That's a lie. Okay, so where do you see our relationship going?
Well, we were in Superstore today, and I'm like, I don't know if we'll ever get married. And he's like, why do you say that? I'm like, we're just too busy all the time. Like, I couldn't imagine planning a wedding on top of everything we're doing. And I was also like, financially, I don't think I could ever afford a wedding, because Levi seems to have this notion that we're going to have this huge wedding one day. And he's like putting it on me, saying I want a huge wedding, but I would rather just go to like Justice of the Peace and like have like a camp out or something.
I've already
I'm just
done that.
Not that person. I don't want a huge wedding.
Oh my
It's
gosh!
not for me.
Well, we just went our friend Jacinda's wedding, and
it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
I
but
would never do that.
We're just
That's
not that
me.
good at weddings. Like, that was really good. And your brother and Ross's wedding was like that too. Like, it was perfect.
Well,
And
it was like actually kind of small though, and like
all the details were there. That's the kind of wedding I'm talking about.
Well, I don't mind renting a hall and like having like my grandma cater it. You know what I mean?
Oh my
like
God.
something small.
Let's not make
Get
your
married at a
grand
field.
Let's not make your grandma work
Well,
that
my
hard.
grandparents all live in Newfoundland, so that's probably not happening.
But then your sister's wedding's coming up in March, so we've actually got a lot of weddings happening. So it takes the pressure off us of having a wedding.
Yeah.
But people do ask us about that, like, or they mistake that we are getting married.
Yeah, every time we post an invitation to somebody else's. But I just say, like, maybe if he asks me one day, it'll be him to ask. I don't know why I say that, but I don't know.
What if you couldn't ask me to
I
get
don't
married?
know. I could. I don't know if I want to get married. I don't know.
Well,
weird. Anybody like
what do you
that out there?
What do you think, listeners? Do you think Austin and I should one day tie that knot?
Of course they're gonna say yes.
Well, what if it's the curse? What if you just stay in a relationship? Because I think a lot of people aren't choosing to get married these days. You know, I think a lot of people are like just doing the cohabitation. Like, I bet you marriages are on the decline, not the incline. I have no stats to back that
Maybe
up.
that's like a thing. You know, what is marriage other than like, you know, just putting it down on a piece of paper and having like a party for your family?
Yeah, I basically already feel pretty married to you.
Yeah. I'm content. I'm in love.
I'm in love
After
too.
3 years, I'm still in love.
And after 3 years, this Wednesday, I'm still in love too.
Mhm.
So there you go, Lethbridge, or listeners. That was our relationship episode. Let's give you a kiss. Thanks for listening to that. Before we head into our last topic and wrap up tonight's episode of You Asked For It. That was quite the topic.
Yeah, that was a lot of stuff.
Wow, weddings.
Weddings.
Well, no matter what, if we did get married, it would be fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ready for You Asked For It? Because this one, you know, this is a lot heavier than what we've been talking about and what has been on our minds lately with Halloween and stuff. Like, I just gotta say, like, America, what is up? Like, this is like one of the worst weeks that I've seen in America, and It's been happening pretty regularly this year, the last 2 years, but 14 pipe bombs mailed out through the mail to politicians and civil service people who've done a lot of great work, ex-presidents, ex-senators, CNN, Robert De Niro. I mean, I think it's actually horrifying that the hate has gotten to this kind of level that you're willing to put all sorts of people's lives in jeopardy by mailing out bombs to people you actually don't know. And just because they're attacked by some angry orange man, it doesn't mean that they deserve their lives threatened or the others. And I feel like this hate that just keeps getting spurred and spurred again and again, and just this constant lying and bullying attitude that's coming from the president is spilling over. I mean, we've seen more shootings at schools, churches, the pipe bombs, and now a synagogue shot up on, I think, Saturday night, where it's the worst hate attack against Jewish people that America has ever seen. So, I mean, we're talking about, and that doesn't even matter, they're humans, but we're talking doctors, lawyers, we're talking a 97-year-old grandmother shot down to death. So these are very heavy topics. I want to say, wake the F up, get out and vote, stop being such assholes, quit being so racist and ignorant. There's a huge rise of this white supremacist thing. What is going on? This anti-immigration thing. I'm just so grateful to be Canadian, and not that it's perfect here, but geez, got that caravan moving towards the States, and they're deploying military, they got walls.
Well, Brazil just elected their own Trump too.
I know. It's really a scary
Trump
time.
of the tropics, they're calling him.
Look at that Ford out east. So, politicians, be responsible. You should not be creating more hate, more nationalism, more shutting off of borders, this closing of the world. We are one people. We should be getting it together and not dividing us. And it's just a really, really crazy and sad time for that. So proud to be Canadian. That pot coming around. Mm-hmm. Everyone's gonna mellow out, be a little happier.
And the opioid crisis has officially been the ending or waning, I guess.
So we're going to talk about this. This is pretty controversial. This came out this weekend.
We got a minute.
We got 1 minute, but here we go. Opioid crisis is a big turn in events, and I'm not sure if it's better or worse, but after 4,000 deaths last year and 3,000 the year before that in Canada from opioids, the addicts are saying F you to these dangerous drugs that are killing themselves, and they're saying hello to methamphetamines. So opioids are on the decline according to police and sources, but the problem is that meth is on the way up. So it's pretty sad that they're choosing meth now rather than the opioids, because at least the meth isn't killing them daily. But one report of watching the people on the street from a police officer saying you can actually see either they're in a trancey dance state from the meth, or they're in an angry stomp, which you can see. So the opioid makes you much more laid back and even passing out. We just had to revive a young man.
Just had to give naloxone to somebody at the salon this week.
On Friday, a young man fell outside of Pizza Junction, and we recognized it was a opioid overdose, so it's still a dose. He jumped right up. He was skipping down the alley. It was pretty insane to see, but we're seeing less of that. We don't see any needles downtown. But unfortunately, the more hyperactivity and aggressiveness is coming from the meth, and that is taking over the opioids. But at least people aren't going to be dying so rapidly, and so I don't think it's a solution, but it's a definite switch we're seeing here in Alberta, and they said Saskatchewan as well.
Wow.
There we go. You asked for it. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks so much, everyone. Happy Monday.
So next week is November, so we can just finally stop talking about Halloween.
Yay!
No more scary
Stop
movies.
watching scary movies.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks for listening.
Mwah.